This is the second part of our recollection on the theme, Calm in the Midst of Storm, batay sa Matthew chapter 14 verses 22 to 33. It is said, little faith can cause fear, much faith ends all fear. Little faith can cause superstition, much faith ends all superstition. People who have little faith are easily overcome or defeated by fear. Kung ano-anong superstitions, including ghosts, ang pinaniniwalaan nila at tumatakot sa kanila. On the other hand, people who have much faith can easily overcome fear. Hindi nila hinahayaan ang anumang superstition o ghost ang magdulot sa kanila ng anumang takot. Pwede nating sabihin na ang mga alagad sa kwento sa Ebanghelyong pinagninilayan natin ay kabilang sa unang kategorya. Natunghayan natin kung paanong lumapit sa kanila si Jesus na naglalakad sa ibabaw ng tubig sa gitna ng unos. Pero hindi nila nakilala ang Panginoon. They were overcome with fear due to their little faith. So instead of seeing and recognizing Jesus, they saw a ghost. Their little faith made them see ghosts where there was no ghost. Minsan ganito rin ang nangyayari sa atin. Jesus comes to us, but we don't recognize Him. Instead, we see a frightening ghost. Ang mga inaakala nating multo ay si Jesus pala. Dahil sa kakulangan natin ng pananalig at pagtitiwala, kinatatakutan natin ang Panginoong Jesus na dumarating, lumalapit, nangungusap sa atin. What do I mean by this? Let me put it this way. We fear the ghost of poverty, but it might be Jesus teaching us to trust in God's providence. We fear the ghost of financial problem, but it might be Jesus drawing our attention to more important things we take for granted. We fear the ghost of failure, but it might be Jesus pointing to God's greater plan for us. We fear the ghost of loneliness, but it might be Jesus giving us the opportunity to be alone with Him. We fear the ghost of sickness, but it might be Jesus giving us the privilege to share in His passion and cross. We fear the ghost of death, but it is Jesus welcoming us to our heavenly home. An English poet said, if winter comes, can spring be far behind? We can also say, if problems come, can Jesus be far behind? The Lord will certainly be just around. Maybe in a form that we don't recognize, or even in a form that frightens us. It takes faith to see and recognize the Lord coming and not be terrified. The theme of fear is further dramatized in the story of Peter. Peter was doing fine until he began noticing how strong the wind was. Nagawa ni Pedro na lumakad sa ibabaw ng tubig tulad ni Jesus habang nakatuon ang paningin niya sa Panginoon. Subalit, nang mawaglit ang pansin niya kay Jesus at mabaling ito sa malalakas na hangin at malalaking alon, nagsimula siyang lumubog at halos malunod. In other words, when he stopped trusting in Jesus and focused his attention to the winds and the waves, Peter began to sink. Kinailangan siyang sagipin ni Jesus nang lumulubog na siya. This made Jesus say, "O you of little faith, why did you doubt?" Again, Peter was doing fine, even walking on the water toward Jesus until he began noticing how strong the wind was. The gospel message for us is this: if we are to follow Jesus across the stormy sea of life, we must keep our eyes fixed on Him. But when we take our focus away from the Lord Jesus, when we fix our eyes on other things, when we concentrate on the waves and storms of life, kapag natutuon ang pansin natin sa mga unos ng buhay, kapag nababaling ang tingin natin sa mga problema natin, kapag napapako ang isip natin sa mga hirap na nararanasan natin, kapag hinahayaan natin ang puso natin na pamayanihan ng labis na pag-aalala, takot at pangamba, when we take our focus away from the Lord Jesus, like Peter, we begin to sink. It is faith that keeps our eyes fixed on Jesus throughout our life, with its ups and downs, amidst the waves and the storms. Muli, kailangan taglay natin ang pananalig at pagtitiwala para makilala ang Panginoon sa gitna ng unos. We must open our hearts to recognize His presence. We must not disregard His works and actions for us. We must not fail to notice when and how He comes to us. We must not ignore His voice when He speaks with us. We must not forget His faithful love, that He will not forsake or abandon us, that He is and will be with us always. In other words, we must not lose sight of His abiding presence in our life. It is I, do not be afraid. Mahalagang maunawaan natin ang kahulugan ng statement na ito. Ang pahayag na ito ay nagpapaalala sa lingwaheng ginamit ng Diyos sa pagpapakilala sa Kanyang sarili. It is I evokes the name of God. Nung tinanong ni Moses ang Diyos, "What is your name?" Sagot ng Diyos ay, I am who am. I am who am. Ito ang ibig sabihin ng Yahweh. I am who am. In saying, it is I, Jesus is actually referring to His name. Moreover, I am who am is not just the name of God. Ito ay isa ring pangako, isang commitment. The literal meaning of I am who am is I am the one who is with you. It means I am the faithful God, the God who journeys with you. I am the God who comes to be with you and remain with you. I am. I am myself faithful to you. Kaya nang sabihin ni Jesus, ako ito, it is I, ang talagang nais niyang sabihin sa kanyang mga lagad ay, ako ang Diyos na kasama ninyo. I am the God who is with you. He is in fact telling them that He is Emmanuel. At dahil pinahayag niya ito sa gitna ng unos, isipin na lamang ninyo kung gaano ka-powerful ang mensaheng ito para sa mga alagad na natatakot sa chaos. He's telling them that it is impossible for them to be alone because their existence is invaded by the grace and glory of the I am. Take courage. It is I. Do not be afraid. Do not be afraid. I am with you. Again, sometimes the Lord sends us into storms because He knows we need the storm in order for us to be able to see the glory of God. He uses the storm to make us realize who He is and who we are. He's working to challenge everything we think about ourselves and about our life. He's acting to change our direction and orientation, our values and priorities, our plans and purpose. He sends us into storms to know I am who am. For the believer, peace is not to be found in ease of life. Your life is not good because it is easy and trouble-free, not because it is comfortable and predictable. Rather, your life is good because I am has invaded your existence with His grace. Real peace is only ever found in the presence, power, and grace of Emmanuel, God with us. Take courage, it is I, do not be afraid. Ilagay natin ang pahayag na ito sa konteksto ng mga bagay na kinatatakot natin. Ang takot natin baka hindi natin matupad ang mga plano, pangarap at ambisyon natin ay mapapawi kung pakikinggan natin ang Panginoon na nagsasabing, do not be afraid, I have a greater plan for you. Ang takot natin na baka magkasakit tayo ng malubha, tamaan ng COVID, o magka-cancer ay mapapawi kung pakikinggan natin ang Panginoon. Do not be afraid, I am your physician, I am your healer. Ang takot natin na baka mawalan tayo ng trabaho, bumagsak ang kabuhayan natin ay mapapawi kung pakikinggan natin ang Panginoon. Do not be afraid, I am your divine providence. I will provide for you. Our fear, worry, or anxiety about the future of our loved ones, their well-being, safety, and financial security can be overcome if we hear the Lord telling us, do not be afraid, I love them more than you do. Such an awareness of Jesus' care, concern, and love should give us an enormous sense of freedom about living our lives and facing life's storms. We should be able to live joyfully and peacefully. Kahit na patong-patong ang problemang dumarating, kahit sunod-sunod ang pagsubok at krisis, kahit nadapuan ng malubhang karamdaman, kahit na makaranas ng matinding kahirapan, kaya nating mapaglabanan ang takot at pangamba kung mapanghahawakan natin ang pagkalinga, pagmamalasakit, at pagmamahal ng Panginoong Hesus sa atin. The ultimate freedom in life comes from trusting your life to God. The Lord doesn't promise to spare us from the storms of life, but He promises to be with us through them. God's help comes in a variety of forms. It may not always come in the forms of we expect, but it will come. He will never leave us to struggle on our own. Ang tanong, muli, talaga bang naniniwala tayo ng ating Diyos ay isang amang mapagmahal at mapagkalinga? Talaga bang nagtitiwala tayo sa Kanya? Talaga bang pinagkakatiwala natin sa Kanya ang buong buhay natin? Muli, sometimes the Lord calms the storm. Sometimes, He lets the storm rage and calms His child. I want to share with you a prayer that I wrote, that I composed during one of those times when I was being tossed about in the waves. threatened by the fury of the storms of life. Lord, there's so much fear in me, so much raw, undefined, free-floating anxiety, so many doubts, suspicions, and insecurities, by which I prevent you from being my Lord. Lord, fear gives me no peace, no rest, no quiet moment. It batters my tired body, my confused mind, my restless soul. I feel powerless to overcome this intense fear that has invaded my whole being. Why, O Lord, is it so hard to overcome my fear? Why is it hard for me to keep my heart focused on you? My attention wanders to people, things, and events that inhabit my restless mind. O Lord, why do I keep focusing so much on the storms and waves of my life? You are the Lord of the wind and the sea, but still, I could not let you have total control of my life. Lord, help me in this struggle to make you the center of my life. Show me clearly and convincingly how I am fully myself, how far I have allowed myself be separated from you, and give me strength to follow this insight. Most of all, O Lord, let me understand that in and through you, all my little concerns will be taken care of. You do not despise my worries, but you ask me to trust you, to trust that you will deal with them. O Lord, let me come to you. Let me enter into your presence and experience there your faithful, everlasting love, with which you invite me to let go of my fears, to let go of my insecurities, anxieties, and preoccupations. Come then, O Lord, I open my senses to your presence. Let me recognize you. Let me hear your voice saying, "It is I, do not be afraid." Jesus is always with us, actively present in our lives, telling us, as he told his disciples then, "Take courage, it is I, do not be afraid. Turn to me, I am the Lord of storms and waves." My dear sisters and brothers, in so many ways, the Lord is constantly telling us, do not be afraid, because I am with you. I am Emmanuel, God who is always with you. Let us end by singing and praying the song, "I am ever with you."
Do not let your hearts be troubled. Do not stay afraid. It is really I whom you see. I offer you now my peace. I have waited for this moment to be with you again. In my heart you'll remain, in your heart I'll stay. I am with you till the end of your days. I am in you. Have faith that I hold you, even when you let go. And I love you, you must know. I am here, I am ever with you. you, even when you let go. And I love you, you must know. I am near, I am ever with you.